Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Kickstarter and comics and gatekeeping and all of that really, really fun stuff.
I mean, the stuff that doesn't happen but actually does?
The stuff that doesn't happen, yeah, supposedly. Supposedly, Kickstarter does not gatekeep comic book projects. However, there are some people creating comic books now who would beg to differ.
Just remember, discrimination is bad, unless you're the one discriminating.
That is true. That is what's going on here at Kickstarter now. I will be honest, I thought they had learned a lesson, but apparently not. They are supposedly hiring yet another gatekeeper to gatekeep comics and other publishing projects. This is surprising, given that they've lost 35 to 40% of their business this year, and a lot of people think it wasn't necessarily because of the pandemic, but because Kickstarter had gotten a bad reputation for gatekeeping projects, especially comic books. So I had a friend kick over this tweet. This is coming from Margot Atwell, who's a big wig over at Kickstarter, that they're looking for an experienced director of publishing outreach to connect with and inspire our community of publishing comics, etc. Now, notice the write-up.
Yes.
First off, coming from Margot Atwell, publishing and comics friends, I'm hiring a director of publishing outreach to work with me at Kickstarter. Check this out and apply through the website. We especially encourage BIPOC, LGBTQ+, and disabled folks to apply.
Yes, I mean, they're gonna discriminate. I'm sorry, flat out. They're just saying we encourage these people because that's who we're gonna hire. So if I said, hey guys, I'm hiring and I really encourage straight white men to apply, the internet would have a shit fit. They'd be like, well, that's discrimination. How dare you? But that's okay. It's okay if they do it.
That is right. And, I'm not sure how they skirt the equal opportunity employment. Well, no, because they're not saying we won't hire you or we won't consider you. They're just saying...
They basically are saying we won't hire or consider you.
It's strongly encouraged that you be anything but.
But then again, with the Disney video and what we were talking about there and with the companies in California, it goes by what you identify as. So if you identify as a, disabled black woman, you should be fine because that's what you identify as.
Even if you outwardly present as a perfectly abled straight white male, if inside you feel that you're a different race or differently abled, then yeah, you should be able to be considered for the job. Anyway, I think the bigger issue here for me, beyond the fact that this is typical Kickstarter, is remember they had one of these.
Yes.
They had one of these. It was Camilla Zhang, who was sort of a notorious gatekeeper at Kickstarter. She claims she isn't, but there has been some evidence to the contrary that she was.
And now she's going around trying to start fights on Twitter and stuff, But, she's fine. It's all fine here.
Going to the media over here at, where is this? Games Radar, formerly known as Newsarama, talking about how, you want to do projects that the Kickstarter community approves of.
That's called their union. That's what they unionized for. They didn't unionize for money. They unionized to control everything that come in and out of Kickstarter.
Yeah. So this clearly, from my point of view, anyway, looks to me like Kickstarter used the pandemic as an excuse to get rid of the union members. And now they're just going to go hire people with a slightly different job title to do exactly the same damn thing.
Pretty much. All I'm just sitting here thinking is, it's like if you owned a steak restaurant and then all of a sudden you hired somebody and all these people, they decided it wanted to be a vegan restaurant, and they hurried up and you changed everything to make it vegan because they had to prove out all the menu items, and then all your clientele left because they wanted steaks. I'm not picking on vegans. I'm just trying to think of a food analogy. And I'm like, that's what this was like.
Pretty
They
much.
didn't want the salad. They wanted the steak. They didn't want the tofutti. They wanted the steak.
So after Camilla gets gone, and there were some people dipping a toe back into Kickstarter, a lot of people, of course, went over to Indiegogo. Some out of necessity because Kickstarter would not approve their projects. Some people because they're like, this is a bunch of bullshit. We're going to Indiegogo. And Indiegogo blew up when it came to comic books. They've actually got more six-figure seven-figure comic book campaigns over there, I believe, than they do at Kickstarter now. Not as many campaigns total, but the campaigns they have over there are doing, on average, significantly better than Kickstarter's. Now you thought the coast was clear, right? We had, Keanu Reeves and Boom Studios doing this massive Kickstarter for Berserker at $1.4 million. And then you had Todd McFarlane doing Spawn and an action figure and comic pack for like $2 million.
I wonder how many people call this BRZRKR.
Did you read BRZRKR?
People be like, what?
OMG. OMG, I read BRZ. I'm just like Berserker. That's how they say it in Scandinavia. Berserker.
I don't know.
I can say that because I'm like a quarter Scandinavian. No, now I'm Scottish.
It depends. They keep changing.
Even though I know,
we know for a fact his family came from there.
I know my family came from. Yes, I know they came off the damn boat just a couple generations ago. Anyway, yeah, so people were using Kickstarter, they're making good money, and now of course Kickstarter, now is the time. We can't let people think that we're all about capitalism.
Right.
Now is the time to institute another gatekeeper. So guys, if you thought the coast was clear because Camilla is gone, it is not clear. They're going to hire somebody else.
She just keep retweeting the exact same thing repeatedly?
Yes, apparently they're very desperate to find somebody every day.
Well, do you want to make money or don't you, Kickstarter? That's the question.
You're not going to make money if you put a gatekeeper in here. This is Margot Atwell.
Oh my God. Okay, so if I dye my hair blue and shave half of it and wear big glasses, does that mean I have a chance at getting this job even though I'm not qualified at all?
Possibly. Would you be willing to do that? Because I like the ginger locks.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying. Well, it might turn purple, but you know.
It probably would. Maybe that's what happened.
Apparently, you just have to dye your hair colors.
Dye your hair. Anyway, this is the job description. Director of Publishing Outreach. Kickstarter is seeking an experienced Director of Publishing Outreach. That sounds an awful lot like Camilla's
Comics Outreach
job.
Now they're calling it Publishing Outreach.
Yeah, so it's everything. To connect with and inspire our community of publishing comics and journalism creators.
What's the journalism? What's up with the journalism?
I can tell you what's up with the journalism.
Besides the fact they don't get paid on these sites.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
But how do you do journalism Kickstarter?
No, they're gonna like kickstart zines and websites and shit.
Is that what they're gonna do?
I guarantee. I know some already are.
Oh my God, CBR's losing money. Quick, go to Kickstarter.
Go to Kickstarter. Oh my God, guys, you gotta pay for us to do.
People don't want to read more about Appa and Momo being a couple. Quick, go to Kickstarter.
I wish to God you were joking.
I'm not joking. I'm dead serious.
Wish you were joking. No,
so you know they were obviously indicating that they were a thing.
The outreach and international team engages with and advocates for creators in the global creative communities.
Keep on communities. The problem with using the word communities is that community would mean that it's a group of people that, it sounds inviting and it sounds welcoming, and the community, come join our community, come be part of us. The problem is they gatekeep the hell out of certain people. So it's not a community. In the respect that they're welcoming and inviting, you're only allowed to be part of their community if you agree 100% with everything they agree with. And that's not cool. And even things that shouldn't have been blocked because they weren't anything that went against the community were blocked because people just, I don't like that person. God, it's like high school. It's like flipping high school. It's like the clubs in high school. I was going to join this club, but I didn't because, she's in that club. Well, just go take over and kick her out. Yeah, you're right. Then we'll run the club. We'll be the queens of high school.
Yeah, I guys, I can't recommend going back to Kickstarter if they're gonna pull this again. I thought that they had learned something. I thought they're like, well, let's not have an outreach person who has a clear agenda, and we're right back to where we started from. Except now we're going to include journalism and book publishing in that.
Journalism, that's so weird.
I'm using air quotes because we know it's not gonna be.
It's easy, guys. You want to do a project? Just use a fake name.
Yeah, right.
Just like, there you go.
Over the past decade, tens of thousands of writers, publishers, comic book artists, and journalists have come to Kickstarter to share their ideas with the world. We've helped creators launch independent books, publishing companies, and comics, to name a few. This is the role, and this is almost exactly like Camilla's job, except with more added to it.
Except with less union.
It's Camilla's job, now with less union.
That's it.
Seek out promising publishing and comics creators who could use Kickstarter to bring projects.
Exemplary projects. Exemplary by what our standards are.
Yes, projects we approve of. Guide creators through the process of successfully planning, launching, and fulfilling Kickstarter campaigns.
Remember when you have to do it yourself and they just approved it yes or no? Wait, now you have to have them go with you to do all this stuff? You can't just do your own campaign now?
Yep.
That's stupid. You used to be able to do what you wanted, and then they approved it or didn't approve it. End of story.
Okay, this is where I think it's coming from. Well, they're talking about help creators craft strong campaigns. Liaise with partners in the book and comics publishing ecosystems.
Who writes this shit? Ecosystems? I thought they were a community.
It means go get us more Berserker, is what it means.
But they're not going to like that, because to go get ones that bring in a lot of money, they're going to have people and companies attached to that you don't like.
That is exactly what
you can't have both ways. If you really want that and that's what you want, you need to find somebody who is, they can be LGBTQ, they can be BIPOC, they can be disabled, they can be whatever. But just make sure that they are in a centrist position where they're not against or for anybody in particular. They just want to do their job and make money for the company. If you do that, then you'll probably get somewhere.
Serve as an internal champion for the needs of publishing and comics.
Ooh, what? Serve as an internal champion?
Hey.
Basically, you come in here and you go find them and we'll bump them to the top. You'll be their champion. So we can take back comics again.
Yes.
This whole thing is so we can take back comics again.
They got a whiff of that Berserker money, that Todd McFarlane money, and they're looking at Indiegogo and they're like, hell yeah, we want some of that. But
that money doesn't come with, the comics that they've been pushing as of late.
No, it doesn't. These anthologies and junk that they're pushing, those are not the projects that generate the $1 million+ dollars.
But there are other projects you turned down that generated tons of money and new companies, and you turned them down because you didn't like the person associated with, not even the project, the person associated with it. You're gonna have a problem because to get those numbers that you want, they're mutually exclusive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't want to hear that. But the way the comic book industry is, the reason it's in a pile of rubble under a burning pile of shit is because you allowed this to go down for all these years. These companies let people take over who couldn't do the job to begin with, and now it's nothing. So hiring somebody else to go reach out to do the same thing isn't going to work unless you realize mistakes were made and maybe you need to do better.
Yeah, the people they're going to go after hate capitalism. That's going to be damn disappointing for your company.
They like capitalism when they make the money. They just like to say socialism when they want people to follow them on Twitter.
If they don't have money, viva la socialism. If they have money, they're capitalists.
Unless
right?
they're on Twitter, then there's viva la socialism because they want to keep their likes.
Yeah. So here.
About you.
About you.
Let's see what they're about you. You have deep community ties in the book and comics publishing industry. This whole thing is just a ploy to take over comics. That's what this whole damn thing is.
But they had a person who had all of these qualifications and they kicked her ass to the curb.
Because she wanted a union. But you have to be tied in there so you can go get us. You're confident in your ability to understand, advocate for these communities' needs? Remember back in the day when people would just do good shit, make good books, and they'd sell? And you didn't say, what are your needs this week? What do you personally need to see in that comic book so you feel better about yourself? They didn't care. They said, here's a deadline, here's a story, get it done.
Get it done, make some money, bitch. That's how it works.
You are a deaf communicator. Well, I am. Both written and verbal. Have you heard me? You guide, educate, question, write, and edit with grace. Well, I guide, educate, and question.
I used to edit with grace and I would make the freelancers cry. That was great.
You know how
those days?
Yes, you know how to connect with creative communities and welcome the opportunity to engage with new perspectives. Oh,
wrong answer. You know how to gatekeep and keep out people you don't like. Mm-hmm. What a bunch of bullshit.
You have a demonstrated history of supporting and celebrating creators from underrepresented communities. This whole thing is one giant bullshit load of flaming crap. I like flaming crap today. Wrapped up in a pretty wrapping paper trying to be like, look guys, we're just trying to help. We're trying to do more of this. You cannot have this and get more of that. It's not going to work. You can be like, yeah, I'm all for underrepresented communities getting comics and stuff. 100%. Yeah. Totally for that. 100%. But the way they're going about it isn't the same thing as organically making sure it happens. It's like you become all about that instead of just being like, oh yeah, and this happens while we do good work.
Wouldn't it be great if we had that Berserker money, but it was helping people other than Keanu Reeves, who already has a lot of money? Wouldn't it be great if we had some weird, anthology book making $1 million? Because we know, but the people came there specifically for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, they didn't even come to Kickstarter because they wanted to go to Kickstarter. They came to Kickstarter just to support Keanu Reeves. They came to Kickstarter to support Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
They might support a couple other things while they're there, but they're going to be things that are similar to these projects. They're not going to go support these wackadoo things you're going to push. You cannot have it both ways. You're going to have to either find somebody who's center and is going to be fair the way across the board, and it's going to be organic and fair, or you're going to have to double down on what makes money. Those are your choices if you want to make money. You're a thoughtful and thorough researcher. Well, yes, I am. You are familiar with Kickstarter and believe in the opportunity we represent for book publishing and comics creators. I did. Once upon a time, you are comfortable speaking and presenting to both small and large groups. You are comfortable planning, hosting, and attending events as a representative of Kickstarter. You have to act professionally then, right? You're comfortable traveling up to 30% of the year in a post-COVID world.
In a post-COVID world.
We're an equal opportunity employer.
No, you're not.
As part of our commitment to fight for equality, we work to ensure a fair and consistent interview process. We celebrate diversity, and we are committed to an inclusive work environment. You just got done saying. Kickstarter is a public benefit corporation, and our mission is to bring creative projects to life. We measure our success as a company by how well we achieve that mission, not by the size of our profits. Then why are you going after this? In our charter, we spell out our mission, our values, and the commitments we have made to pursue them. You just got on saying you're equal opportunity employer, followed by, we're equal opportunity, but we fight for equality, and we really want diversity and equality. That's not that.
So what they're doing is they're taking the profits from the Berserker campaign, from the Todd McFarlane campaign, and they're going to go hire another gatekeeper to bring it, because they somehow think that they can do the same thing with creators that have no audience.
You can't.
They're underrepresented. Underrepresented means that not a lot of people know who you are.
You have to have a platform. And I'm sorry, when they tried to do this, it didn't work. And yeah, equal opportunity, my ass. I am 200% for equal opportunity, true equality, true diversity. I am for it. Over and over again for it. What I am not for is this load of shit masquerading as diversity when it just basically means anybody that's not white, straight, and male.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it means at the end of the day. But it's a load of shit. But we want more of this, but we don't want you people. Well, you can't have both, because people bringing it aren't the people that you're like claiming you want.
Yeah, this is just, it's good luck with that Kickstarter, because people already, I think they were coming back because they're like, well, Camilla Zhang's out of the way, so maybe it's safe to go back. Maybe it's safe to go back to Kickstarter, and now they're just going to double down on it.
Can I point out a couple things in this picture? One, it's Kickstarter, and it's all women and one man. Do we know any of these people are disabled? Do we know if any of these people are LGBTQ? Do we know if there's any POC people? Well, I guess the Asian girl, but there's they have Black Lives Matter, but is there a black person in their picture?
No, there isn't.
There isn't. I think you're failing there with your mission statement, Kickstarter. They should be all women, maybe a couple LGBTQ people, and you make sure that all of them are black. Just make sure you're hitting all those. Make sure one's in a wheelchair too.
Or all the above. That would be
perfect. Just do one picture of all of them combined.
This is not going to go well. I'm telling you guys, you need to get. Now, what I'm afraid of is Indiegogo is going to go down the same path because they're based in San Francisco. But so far, they've been, other than a few projects they thought were too political, they haven't really interfered with business.
They like money.
And Kickstarter is telling you, as a public benefits corporation, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about helping.
It's about
people.
the message.
It's about helping people. We want to help. And I know what's going on because
we're using all the money from the campaigns that actually make money.
Yeah. So this is, exactly. You've got everybody eating off of Keanu's big plate.
Can we just go back? To just making good stories that, that happen to be diverse, but that isn't the selling point, and that everybody can just do their own projects. They can use it as a middleman you're a money taker. You're not a gatekeeper. But they do more. We have to be a gatekeeper. We have to work with the real comics book publishers. I'm like,
so what they're gonna do? I'm telling you what, because the way that it's worded, they're looking at what's going on at Indiegogo. They're looking and they're seeing that the comic book industry, the direct market, is imploding, and they want to do what YouTubers are doing over on Indiegogo, but they want to do it on Kickstarter, and they want to do it on their own terms.
But they don't want you. They don't want people like us over there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So even though we haven't done anything to anyone, so they're going to go out of their way to make sure it's their people. But they don't understand. It doesn't work. It has not worked since the beginning on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Without a platform, it is very, 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 very hard to do well. Because you're just buried, and even now more so, because it used to be there was a lot more there was a lot less projects. You were like, you could stand out. Now it's like going on to webtoons. There's so many, you just get buried. You need that platform, or you need someone that has a platform, working with you. They promote it. I don't think a lot of people are going to Kickstarter unless they're coming for things like this to even look at it.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't. Now, I mean, honestly, with YouTube, most of the actions over on Indiegogo, which is so weird because even 5 years ago, Indiegogo was like the last resort. But because, now here's the irony in all of this Kickstarter, you created your own supervillain. Because you gatekept your platform, those guys went to Indiegogo because they had no other choice. And you lost, I don't know how much money.
A lot of money.
Because those guys are making hundreds of thousands
repeatedly on multiple campaigns.
Yeah, I know, Richard Meyer, he does 3 or 4 campaigns a year, and they all pull in hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he's been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years now. You've lost countless sums of money, and you're going to continue to lose countless sums of money if you gatekeep Kickstarter like you have been. And it sounds to me like you're going to double down on it. So good luck with that. I don't know what to tell you. Because Keanu Reeves, they did this Berserker, but then Camilla Zhang goes out and has a shit fit to the media. It's not fair. It's not fair.
The community is coming.
It's not fair that Boom did this. It's not fair that Boom made money.
How dare they actually bring people to the platform and wouldn't be there normally to actually look at projects and back them? How very dare they?
Yeah, how dare they?
I didn't approve them.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have money. You have to be approved to be on here. I don't care if you have money or not. So let's just do that again.
Let's do it again. So I don't know what to tell you. I think I'm still gonna tell you not to go to Kickstarter, just because it's a very iffy situation. They've pulled down projects before. They won't promote your project if you're not the right kind of person, apparently, and that still seems to be the case. So I don't know. I would just say be very wary. Do not put all your eggs into the Kickstarter basket, because it sounds to me like they're
not the right eggs. If your eggs are white, they're gonna smash them. Take that how you will.
Smash your eggs all over the place. All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.